Hulu, HBO, all of these other studios are coming up with really good content. An example of stuff that I would want to put out there is something like The Offer, which was just released on Paramount Plus, which is about the making of The Godfather. It's a genius show. It's a mini series, and wonderful actors, wonderful crew, wonderful production. So that's the type of stuff I'm trying. That's how I'm trying to market myself going forward. Is I try to pay attention. It's kind of like playing stocks. You have to pay attention on who's actually putting the best quality content out there, who's actually benefiting from this and from the type of audiences that they want. And it's not just about their subscribers. In my opinion, it's about the quality of the project, because there's a lot of stuff that you can throw against the wall. There's a lot of great projects, there's a lot of not so great projects, and we all know that, from being the makers of them and from being the audience as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I have on that.
Writing is probably, if you talk to writers will tell you that they're the most important. Actors will tell you they're the most important. Directors will tell you they're the most important. But hands down, as much as I love doing all of it, and I want to beat up most writers most of the time, writing really is kind of the key to getting anything done nowadays. I mean, it all starts on the page. So I know both of you guys do writing, but do you ever think in terms of working with writers, what exactly it is you're looking for? How do you screen writers? How do you look to find the writer that is going to flush out a story? Isaac?
Yeah.
To me, it's more of their cultural background, based on the type of market that I target, which is US Latino market. It really depends on how they grew up, where they grew up. That will kind of help me determine what the type of writer that this person is going to be based on the projects that I'm looking for. That would be for me. For one, it's their background. Second, what are they currently working on, and where do they see themselves in the next 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 years, which will help me determine whether or not this person is going to be a good fit for what we're doing, but then also a cultural fit as well.
Yeah, and
Brandon, what about you?
for me, honestly, I love writing, but the one thing is that I'm not a huge fan of structuring scripts, and I do collaborate, and I am really great with sequences and scene work, and story structure. Um, what I look for in a writing partner is really, how our relationship works. Do we get along well? Do I think that the ideas that we come up with, are we going to be excited about those ideas at the same time? Is it workable into what we're working on? Do we share the same amount of emotional investment into what we're writing together? That's what I look for. Obviously, from a cultural background as well, I feel like that's important because of your story and what you can bring to a character that is not you. But honestly, I just feel like I really got to jive with the person I'm working with. It really makes the difference in the project. I really got to feel that I'm with somebody that we can make decisions together, or we can disagree to agree to disagree when the time comes. It's got to mesh for it to work.
Absolutely. Collaboration is half of it. Making sure you've got the right team together. I've had the opportunity to work with some really terrific people, and right now, like I said before, I'm working on a show called The Morning Show, and I look at somebody like Jennifer Aniston, who always in the beginning I thought of her as just really a decent comedian. She was very funny and she was great on Friends. And when I found out she was doing this dramatic piece, I think in the past I would have gone, I don't know. But I got an opportunity to see her in a movie called Cake, which was a very small independent movie. It wasn't something that I would have particularly gone out to see, but at that moment I was on the Screen Actors Guild vote and nomination committee. And, they sent you the DVDs. I made a point of seeing every single one of the movies that was being presented. And I got to see this, and She was brilliant in this movie, this small movie. And when I came to the set, finally, it was a couple of years later that we're now getting ready to shoot the first season. And I had talked to Mimi Leader, who is the casting, she's the executive producer, and she was also directing the first episode. I walked up to her and I said, "Did you ever see Jennifer in this movie called Cake?" And she said, "No, but I heard it was really good." I said, "She was brilliant." She said, "Go tell her." And I went, "Oh, no, I can't tell her. You know, she's not going to want to talk to me. I'm small potatoes on the set." She said, "No, no, go tell her." And, you know, I finally, it was probably about the third day we were working together, and it was a moment where I could go over to her and say, "You know, I saw you in this movie, Cake." She said, "You were like one of three people." I said, "You were really great in it." She went, "Oh, thank you so much." And it's funny because I think sometimes we're a little intimidated by the people that we're working with, or going up to them and having the conversation. But I have found that it really makes sense. You'd be surprised how many people in our industry really do want to engage. Sometimes it's a matter of them being shy as well, no matter how big a star they may be or big a producer they may be. Agents may be a whole different story, but I think, it's important to, as you guys were both saying earlier, to be aggressive, to get out there. Probably not, don't be somebody who's stalking other people, but to feel a certain amount of confidence that we don't always get in this business. I'm now working Actors Guild after I'm on the national committee, I'm on the local Los Angeles committee. I'm co-chair of the National Women's Committee. I am also on the diversity committee, National Diversity Committee. I'm a vice chair on the EEOC, Equal Opportunity Committee. And, it all came down during the pandemic, because here we were in our house and I was being kind of bullied into participating. I'd been in the business all my life. I've certainly been in the union pretty much all of my life. And it was time for me to give back. And I sort of thought, well, what can I lend to this? What can I possibly do? So Gabrielle Coteras, who was our president at the time and is a friend of mine who I really like and think she's done great strides towards the beginning of chipping away at the diversity problems that we have in our industry. She said, sign up. You've got a voice. People want to hear from you. And I went, really? And I thought, all right, well, I'll sign up for a few things, see what I get. Who knew that Franny Dreschu, who is our president, signed me up for every one of them. So now I'm zoomed up to my eyeballs. I actually make a habit of making sure I have pajama bottoms, but they can see me from the waist up because I'm in front of my Zoom camera all the time. But we only have a few more minutes, I think. But I think if there's anybody who has any questions, I'm not quite sure, again, technically how I'll be able to find out if you have questions and get your hand and get your voice heard. But should we try and see if anybody's got any questions before I give you guys your wrap-up moments to say your last few things? Anybody out there got questions?
If anyone has questions, you can go ahead and look at the bottom of your screen. You'll see a little button that says raise hand, and your virtual hand will go up right over your avatar. There has to be at least one question, I know.
Me, Kiki's probably out there thinking of a whole bunch of things she wants to ask me later. Anybody? Well, in the meantime, let's start with just Brandon. Let me just ask you.
We see one.
Oh, wait, do we have one? Oh, yeah, we have one. Now, how do we? Janine, can you get them to get?
No,
do I
yes,
need
Tio, go ahead.
I'm
okay,
on.
good.
I want to compliment both the gentlemen on the awards you've won, and congratulations on that, and what you're doing for the community. But I wanted to actually, it's ironic that Sherry is on the stage. I was just invited to two pitches, and I actually cited your father of something he did when you were 15 years old, when he was substituted for Johnny Carson, where he did his show February of '68.
Hmm?
I'm wondering if you're familiar with that, Sherry?
Oh, sure. He did the whole week. Johnny
Right.
Carson, that whole week he presented, because initially NBC was a little skeptical of it, but Johnny went, no, Johnny was the one that promoted that and got him to get on there. The sad thing about that is that there's only two shows, elements of two shows that were saved, because back in those days, everything was on film, on tape, and they would just redo the tape. They tape over the shows. So there's only, I think, the segment with Martin Luther King, and there's like one or two other segments. Bobby
Robert
Kennedy.
Right.
Yeah, Bobby Kennedy, and I think there was one other small bit that was but saved, but everything else is gone.
Because NBC in those days recorded over their shows on
Right.
the tapes, and a wonderful documentary was done on that was released. And basically, when I was pitching, trying to do a Latino show, and how when we in the Latino community, like your father, what he did was he booked that entire week. He went into his own personal Rolodex. He got Lena Horne on the show. He got the last interview with Martin Luther King Jr. He got Bobby Kennedy on the show. And
Right.
that what I was trying to say is, that was what they want to hear in this country is a marketing success story from the past. And I said he was so successful doing that because he was able to just pull into his own contacts. And we in communities of color, Latinos, that we network and we stick together and we need to support one another. And that's why when opportunities arise to do a similar show like that all we have to do is to go into our own personal Rolodexes, just as your father did that week in February of '68. So it's funny,
Yeah,
I just cited your father just literally less than an hour ago.
yeah, like I mentioned, it's about building those connections before you need them.
Yeah, and that's the one thing about Omni is, especially when we can all get back into the room together, as opposed to just me wearing a purple shirt with blonde hair and blonde eyebrows. It's terrific to be able to go in and network. Networking is, I think, tantamount to the industry that we do. And this really is one of the best platforms that I've seen. Granted, we've all gotten just swiped by COVID and by the pandemic, and we're all still trying to find our way in and around this. But I would suggest everybody who's sitting here in the audience or anybody who's within the earshot of us continue to do just what Brandon and Isaac are talking about, and that is, network, get out there, get the voice and the message out there, and get your projects together, and come to the Omni Multicultural TV Fest next season with your projects in tow. And with any luck, you'll not only just meet people and be able to chat, you'll actually get the opportunity to step up front and center and present something, and maybe move along a lot faster than you would have if you'd just been out there cold calling. Let me say, Brandon, you're the one that wait, who did I just talk? Isaac, you were talking, but Brandon, you have a couple of things to say, right? Anybody else have any questions before we go to Brandon? By the way, thank you to you.
I didn't.
No,
I think
thank you,
Isaac
you
was
and your
saying
dad.
Brandon? Oop.
Yeah, I don't think I had anything to add. I think Isaac was actually saying something before.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, Isaac.
What I said is that it's about being able to build connections before you need them, right? And then being able to build those relationships with individuals, and being able to network, which is the key. And that's what Omni Cultural TV Fest did for me. That allowed me to meet individuals who were willing to work with me based on the quality of my work, that offered me an opportunity, and now here we are.
Right. Well, I want to thank you guys. I think, Janine, do we have more time, or is it,
Oh, we have
everybody
more
told me?
time. We have
Oh,
9
we
minutes,
got
and
more
I have a
time.
question.
But I can still talk about me?
Yes, but I have a question.
Oh, go ahead.
So, Sherry, a little bit ago, you were sharing some of the many organizations that you're involved with. And certainly, you just can't walk into the Directors Guild or walk into the Producers Guild. You have to have credits, and there's a whole process. But I'm wondering if any of the three of you can just name a couple of organizations that might be a good place to start building those connections before you need them.
I'll speak a little bit on this, because the one organization I'm obviously very tied to right now, like I said, is Screen Actors Guild AFTRA. SAG-AFTRA we have 160,000 members. We are one of the biggest AFL-CIO unions First of all, let me start off by saying I'm a big union girl. I've always liked unions. I've always thought unions were there for the people. I got that from both my mom and my dad. But my dad was a huge union guy. Um, a big believer in it. And I think, it's funny, like I said, I've been in the Screen Actors Guild and after, since 1979. And I never really thought about what my union could do for me other than filter checks. If I got something, then, the SAG-AFTRA made sure that I had got a residual. And at that point also I was making dollars to put towards my health insurance. Because at 22, you don't really think about health insurance, but you do know you're eventually going to need it. Now that I'm 67, going to be 68 in September, I am so glad that I was able to build on that. For me, the Screen Actors Guild AFTRA is really one of the most important aspects of my entertainment career. They really do make a difference in how I am presented in the industry. Now we've certainly in the last few years since the Me Too, campaign started, have been able to make, as a woman and as a woman of color, more strides towards getting things done. Right now we've been just negotiating our commercials contract for actors. And you'd be surprised. There were a number of meetings that I had to go to, or, that I didn't actually physically show up, but there were Zoom meetings where we were hearing the grievances of everybody in the industry that are part of our union. The dancers had something to say. The stunt people had something to say. The people with disabilities had something to say, and everybody had a voice that they wanted to say, look, this is what we need to get pushed along with producers in the future. And it really was eye-opening to me to see just how many people are part of our industry that don't know that they have a voice and that they need to reach out to their Screen Actors Guild. These are the people that are in the Screen Actors Guild, SAG-AFTRA union. But I think it's important to get more involved. Don't forget that you can make waves. You can have a voice. You can ask questions. You can find out. There's also, if you go sagaftra.org, there's a list of things that you can be made aware of. I just did a little thing. We're hopefully going to start putting out these little interstitials, these little 1-minute things that say, listen, did you know that if you have an account with the SAG-AFTRA union, that you can set up, right now, because I've been in the business such a long time, I seriously get these checks for a penny or for 2 cents or for 16 cents that are all residuals that I've gotten from shows that I did 30 years ago or 20 years ago, or, that they've run so many times. They really are, and they have to send the check. That's just, they have to send you a check. And I still thought, it costs more to send me this 12-cent check than it's doing me any good or doing somebody else any good. Is there something I can do with these checks that are under 25 cents? That won't cost me much money. And I found out, I didn't know this, but I found out that you could donate them to the SAG-AFTRA Foundation. And, when you sort of think about at the end of the day, at the end of the year, I would have made maybe $4 on all these penny checks that I got. But if my $4, and let's say 50,000 of the 160,000 people that are in the industry, if they put all their checks in at $4 or $3 or a few pennies, that adds up. And then on the days that we have these pandemics and things where it really can service some of the people that are not doing well, that are barely getting a roof over their heads, you sort of think, all right, it didn't make any difference to me because that 4-cent check is going to sit on my desk or end up in the file box on the floor next to the trash compactor. So why not have that opportunity to just say, I don't even ever need to see that check and you can donate any amount. It could be 2 cents or 4 cents or 25 cents, and if you decide just by sending that, letting it go over there, we can make a few big bucks that can actually help other sisters and brothers that are in our union. So that's my focus in terms of anything outside of creating my own projects. I'm certainly writing stuff. I'm directing, hopefully going to direct a couple of things. I've got things that are in different places that people are looking at right now. Keeping my fingers crossed. I just found out that I'm back on the morning show. We start back in August, so that's a happy moment for me. But hopefully I haven't blathered on too long, but I think for me, I would suggest anybody out there that's an actor or is thinking about getting into the industry, that they really consider becoming a union member, Screen Actors Guild after. And if they, like I said, you know, a lot of people want to be there and they're going, oh, you know, I just don't have the money that it costs to join the union right now. It's like, well, you know, find out if there's a way that you can make that work for you, because ultimately they're going to be there to protect your interest and to make sure that you get all the pennies that you're supposed to get. And ultimately, you know, I know a lot of people want to be a part of that, but you know, some of them are just reluctant. But that would be my thing, is to say, sign up for SAG after if you're going to be an actor. And by the way, I think it's probably true for the Writers Guild and for the Directors Guild. They have a little more, they've got a lot more stipulations as to how to join them. But nevertheless, you know, the sooner you write those pieces and get them sold, it's catch 22. I think, you know, you'll find out that being a union member really makes a difference. Anybody else?
Is that it? Any other questions? No? Going once, going twice?
Well, I want to say thank you to Brandon Davis. You know, make sure everybody, you get to see his projects. And Isaac Fuentes, also, thank you for being here. Oh, hello?
Oh, we can hear you.
Oh, no, suddenly I was hearing some more feedback.
Oh, feedback, okay.
I was saying, I want to thank everybody for coming in and listening to us today. Kiki, I'm sure you're going to text me later and tell me everything I did wrong. Janine, thanks for hanging in there. I hope the white marble table is glowing in your future again.
Yes.
And, you know, guys, good luck with everybody in the room. Good luck with your projects and your pitches. And hopefully we'll see each other in real skin time next year.
Yes. Thank you so much. Okay, we need to use our clap buttons for this one. Yes, please. Clap, cheer, dance. This was fantastic. Absolutely.
Thank you. I really do appreciate it.
Thank you to
We
Brandon
are
and
about to
Isaac.
begin. Please take your virtual seats.
Thank you very much, Sherry.
Thank you, guys.
If I could have you guys just join me at the podium with Sherry, and we will do a little virtual selfie. Thank you so much. Oh, everybody looks great. Oh, who did I lose? Brandon? No,
Right,
Brandon's
right
there.
next to
Isaac.
Isaac's walking to the bathroom, I think.
Isaac, we need you back. You're almost there. Few more steps.
Thank you, Jose. Jose,
Few more steps. Few more steps. Isaac, few more steps forward.
You can just point, you can point it right at the floor, right next to Sherry, and then click it, and then you'll be right next to her.
Perfect. And if you could put your hand down, I can see, looks like your hand is raised. Perfect. Okay, Isaac, turn your head, look this way. Ooh, perfect. Okay, just turn just a little bit. That's perfect. Perfect. Thank you. And now, everyone, we have a fun little networking party that we're going to do. And that is going to be located in yes, dance, Brandon. That's going to be located in the Innovation Center. So you can actually, because we're in the Streamatorium, you can walk out of these doors and you'll see the sign, the Innovation Center, and you can just go there and hang out. We wanted to build into this day the opportunity to have a little downtime and connect and network. So go ahead, stretch your virtual legs if you'd like, go out a platform, come back in. Those of you who are interested in getting representation We do have the Contacto Star Search session going on in the Imagitorium, and they are meeting with people one-on-one. So if you're looking for representation, they represent actors, head over there.
Was made because some of those people weren't authentically from those communities, but there was also a lot of happiness and celebration that a big story like that, even though it had people from all over Asia, was being made. So it's but overall the Asian community was more happy based off conversations that I had with Go House. Like, they can't speak on behalf of everyone, and I can't speak on behalf of the Asian community because I'm not Asian, and it's them. But from that conversation that I had with them, they were like, we just need shows and films like this being made, and we need to support it, put our money where our mouth is, buy tickets, etc. I think there's a lot of change, and financially it makes sense for there to be Black-led projects, Asian-led projects, and Latino-led projects, because those are very, very they can be very commercial. Yeah, I think
Yeah, that's awesome. That's
yeah.
great. That's great. And it's interesting that you
Yes, that's where I would go next. I'm sorry, I'm just texting someone in the background trying to help them. I can find out. Eric, do you know where what is it called, William?
She said go to the Innovation Center.
Innovation Center. Okay, let me ask.
Yeah, I'm looking for the building 2. That's where my friend's thing is going to be screening.
Theater 2? Brown. Oh, okay. I was told it's the brown building behind us next to the exhibit hall.
That's the.
It's a cool little place. Went in here to network with. That's a cool little place. Oh, there's somebody. Belinda Stanley. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Just I think this is the networking room, or what they were talking about.
Yeah. I followed the signs. So, are you a producer or a writer or what?
I was on the social media sensations panel. I help people get audience.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
But I also own a television network, and I just own a lot of platforms that get you out there.
Oh, okay. Very cool.
And you?
I'm a screenwriter producer.
Oh, awesome. What type of content?
Usually action, television features.
Oh, cool.
Usually drama.
Awesome. I'd love to. Do you have a website or something I can take a look at your stuff?
Yeah, BraziliaProductions.com.
Can you put it in the chats? Do you know how to put it in the chat?
Sure.
And just send me a DM on the chat or whatever, and Hi, Jose.
Oh, did you get it?
Let me see. Yeah, there it is. BraziliaProductions.com. Okay, cool. And just so you guys know too, I'm actually streaming this to my fan base on YouTube. So I've just kind of had my fans kind of going along with me as I've been playing in virtual land today.
Awesome.
So then I just mean you have a lot of eyeballs seeing your website now.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Jose, do you do like sign language? I'm just kidding. Just mean you're quiet.
Maybe he left.
It's a technology thing. Sometimes people's microphones don't work, or sometimes people are just spectators that just want to watch and listen. Well, it's nice meeting you, Belinda. I put my my websites in the chat as well, and
okay,
and you can take a look at our stuff. And this is our little community on Facebook. If you want to network with some cool people, we deal with a lot of real high profile people. And I hope I see you on our little Facebook group, and I'll learn a little bit more about you. And then if you just go to just look up at Eric Zulli on any social media anywhere, you'll find me.
Okay, then I'll look for it.
Awesome! I can't wait to look at your stuff, especially action. I love action movies. And
so do I.
We have a social media platform that has a couple investors and distributors and stuff like that. You might want to network with them.
Okay, definitely. We'll check it out.
Go to that easywayinfo.com and then you'll see it'll say Wall of Fame. That's it.
Okay.
All right, nice meeting you. I'm gonna go check out the other thing in I think it's in the Magitorium. I think that they're doing some talent representing talents or something like that. I'm gonna check that out.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you.
Okay, there we go. Click the button.
I love that. Yeah, I mean, I remember, Alan, you cast a Venezuelan actress, one of our clients, in the last, I guess, 3 years. You cast a Venezuelan actress for a Mexican role, and she did a great job, right?
Yeah, she
I mean,
prepared.
I'm sure you've done it many times, but from our
totally.
from our roster, you did that, and that was just like, okay, she's just the perfect one for that role, correct?
Yeah, she was great. I mean, she was. I think one of the most important things is, I mean, I think it was great that when you first talked to me about her and you like hyped her up, I was like, all right, well, let's see if she's gonna bring it, and she did. She prepared. She really understood the character. She studied the character. She did a lot of homework. She did a lot of research because it was based on a true person, and that was really her doing. She deserved the role and she deserved the character because she put the work in, and that's the thing. Like, this industry is a business at the end of the day, right? And like, all these productions are a lot of the times multi-million-dollar productions. So it's an investment on actors when we get hired. I mean, when actors get hired, and it's like you can tell when someone really is truly invested and is taking this, as serious as they would a job that not only has a lot of investment in it from the studio network side, but also can likely make them continue to book projects and financially, make some money. So yeah, I mean, she was great. She was perfect. She was perfect for the role. She was.
Yes, and she did a great job. She really did. Yes. Okay, so let's talk about something else. What can you all one by one? What can you? What advice can you give to talent, underrepresented talent, or represented talent to work on? Well, first, underrepresented talent. I mean, as you all know, it's really hard to get representation. Although smaller management companies like or agents, we're very. I mean, I at least look at every submission that comes in, right, Kathy? We always look at the emails, and I think that, that's one way to really get out there and get representation, although many people might not be taking in new talent. But I have faith that, a lot of us, I mean, we do for sure, but a lot of agents, managers, I don't know about casting directors, if you get inundated with emails of like talent sending their headshots, resumes, reels. I mean, let's talk about this. You want to go ahead and start, Kathy? About that, like, what can you advise the underrepresented talent?
Yeah, of course, of course. Okay, so the first thing is you have to take your job very seriously. The moment you want to or decide to become an actor or an actress, you are an actor or an actress. The moment you are on stage, even on a play at the school or your neighborhood, you are an actor, you are an actress. From that moment, you're a role model. You have to start treating yourself as a person who will influence other people. Okay, so you have to do your homework. You have to try to just put a list of things that you need in order to be heard. For example, you have to have a reel. That's the first thing you have to have. But if you don't have any material, then you have to start acting wherever you can, even with your friends, even in get acting classes and have someone record you. I mean, you have to show the person that the manager that you are reaching out that you can act. It's not just, oh, I want to be an actor and that's it. You have to be exposed. You have to get out there and act, right? Because you decided to become an actor. The next thing is you have to have a studio photo. If you don't have a headshot, there's no way you sell yourself, especially in this time of the day. That everything, I mean, look at us. We're on a computer right now. So you have to have certain things in order to be exposed and reach out to someone for representation. When I first started at Contacto, the first thing I did was create a manual for every actor that was starting in the business. And there's certain things, I mean, I'm not gonna list everything right now, but there are certain things that you must do in order to start your profession. I mean, when I submit you to a role or a breakdown, I expect you to have a headshot. I expect you to have a slate. I expect you to have a reel. I expect you to submit your audition on time. There's so many things that hard work, being responsible, so many things that you have to do in order to start in this industry before you even go on a set. And nobody's gonna consider you unless you are a hardworking actor. So being a hardworking actor, taking your job responsible and being on time, and it's not only about the passion, like I said at the beginning. This is a business, and everybody takes their job very seriously. So you could be the most talented person in the world, but if you're starting and you missed an audition with me, it's gonna be very hard for me to take you seriously. So that's like the biggest thing for me, is to know that this is a very hard industry, very hard. And if you wanna be an actor, if you wanna be a star, and if you wanna work in your passion, you have to take it seriously.
That's true. That's very good advice. Thank you, Kathy. Lupe, what do you want to advise talents here in the audience?
I mean, underrepresented or like represented. Obviously, it's like quite a journey to get represented, but just understanding that it is a business, and like Kathy mentioned, you have to have all your materials, like like not only reels, but now it's clips that casting wants. So instead of a 2-minute reel, they'll want like a 20-second clip of you playing a certain kind of character that might fit a breakdown that they're looking for. So for when I talk to people that want representation, I just kind of see like, do they understand it's a business? Like, do they have that business side of things where they can not just be the artist, but also just see that you have to take it seriously. You have to hit deadlines. With everything being self-taped, you have to figure that out and master it and be able to do it pretty quick. Because sometimes being an actor is like being on a film set, like hurry up and wait. You'll have no audition for a week or two, and then all of a sudden you get one and it's due in like 6 hours or the next morning. So just, being very prepared with your self-tape setup. Also, the training is really important. I always look at resumes and see, who has training, who actually has done, plays before, because that is like a really great skill to have on a resume. So yeah, so I just look at different things, but also just their attitude. Like, do they have like that drive, and are they willing to learn, or already know the business side of things?
I have to say, and thank you for that, Lupe. I am very impressed with many actors, how they are very serious about their careers and how they jump on every opportunity, no matter what they're doing, how busy they are. They learn their lines and they deliver a good self-tape. Correct, Kathy? I mean, you've seen that. And then Alan, I'm sure you too. You probably, when you see the self-tapes, you know who prepared or who just is, maybe too busy to prepare, right? I mean, do you still see that even with the self-tapes? Because I know that when the auditions were in person, you can probably see that more. I think now with self-tapes, it's kind of easier for the talent to do, takes, and then edit the best ones. So I think that has changed too, right? On the
Oh,
way
it's changed drastically. I mean, I just saw a self-tape today or yesterday where I just thought, man, this person should have not done any of this. And if we were in person, I would tell them, stop what you're doing, unlearn everything that you like learned coming in here, start from scratch.
All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this session of the Omnicultural TV Fest with Easy Way Network.
For first
and basically giving it to you how it happens the easy way. Great networking, great opportunities. We're going to have some great events in the future like this. So if you're not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed to easywayexposure.com
from one side of Los Angeles to another
/subscribe
2 hours sometimes.
And make sure you join our Wall of Fame.
Also, they can submit from anywhere. If they're in Mexico, let's say, shooting something, they can just submit.
All right, stay tuned. We'll be going live a little bit later with more Omnicultural TV Fest in just